Alright, this video here, I've got two CZ rifles with HM2 barrels on them. An Arken EPL4 6x24x50. This is an Element Nexus 5x20x50. They both have MOA rectacles. Okay, this one has a dot. The Arken has a dot in the middle. This Element Nexus has a cross in the middle. Okay, I've been in the squirrel woods a whole lot with that gun last year, and I've been in the woods this year so far with this scope, and I think I already see something here, and I'm going to tell y'all about it. I'm not trying to get you to buy jack. I believe the view in this scope in the woods, using both of these first focal plane scopes at 7x. That's how I like to usually run them, with leaves on. The Nexus scope, I'm seeing better with it. Okay. I can track a squirrel moving better with that scope and get a fast shot off. Not so good with this gun here. I looked at some fox squirrels this morning with this gun. I'm not fast enough with this scope versus that scope. Okay. Now, backlight. I can use this scope in lower light and make good shots without the backlight versus this Arken EPL4. But I do like the backlight on this scope right here. Okay. Now this is leaves on, we're talking about squirrel hunting. As far as punching paper, I believe this scope with its reticle is better than that scope there, the Element Nexus. And I have punched paper with both, and if I had to put a scope on a rifle to see what ammo it likes or how good the gun is shooting, I'd put that Arken scope on a gun versus that scope. But remember, squirrels in the woods, you know, they don't just sit like statues a lot of times. You got to make quick shots. When they stop, you got to sort of be ready for them. Will be reporting some more, and I will use this in leaves off to see how it does, this Arken scope. I don't know, this scope here does very well leaves off. I've made some real killer shots with that scope. I made some killer shots with leaves on it, squirrels too, out there 60 and 70 yards with leaves on. Now let's talk about this level. Both of these guns have Arken levels on them, and I made a comment, it's been a few years. The vortex level, they look similar. Unless they've changed the design, the vortex level is junk, okay? And I'm going to show you why this is a much better level. And you can order these from Arken, okay? The vortex level pinches the scope. Its design is different than this scope. And I'm going to see if I can get this gun up here. Turn it around. See that area right there? See that little round thing right in there? Well, they've got this level here where it pivots. And when you tighten the scope down, or the level down, it doesn't pinch the scope. Okay, that's a very good design right there based on what I'm seeing with both of these levels mounting them. The vortex, it looks similar to that, unless they've changed the design. Now, I haven't bought one in a few years. It's junk. Stay away from it. All right. So far, that's what I'm seeing. I have to run this scope here. I don't get to see the reticle as good at 7 power as I do that one. Okay, I could run that scope at 6.5 with leaves on and hunt with it. This one right here would be a stretch. And if you did run this Arken, you would be running backlight on, I guarantee you. Okay. Squirrels on the face of trees is a good way to judge one of these scopes. Now, I've looked at squirrels. They're wild right now. These squirrels are not settled down. Okay. I've hunted them with this scope, acted similar. Truth be told, I could have killed a few squirrels had I been using that gun and that scope. Remember, that scope there cost me $362 to my door. That one there cost me $1,499. Okay? And also, if you're interested in one of these scopes for squirrel hunting, the Milleradian setup they offer for these looks a lot like the reticle in this scope, meaning it has a dot in it. The MOA version has a cross in that element Nexus. They do make a second generation of these scopes. I don't have one. I don't need one. That one there does real well. Okay. I will report some more. I'll use them both some more. You know, people want to be, you know, and maybe I'm just different, okay? But a squirrel moving on a limb where I'm tracking him, and he gets out there and he makes a mistake and stops or turns around, I like that one better versus that one. Okay? Hope you enjoyed.